Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk about the lecture method of teaching. The lecture method of teaching is frequently criticized, but it is a fact that it has managed to survive so long even in the face of several technological developments. Lectures are often used to teach organized bodies of knowledge, which is an important part of the school curriculum at all levels. And they have continued as a primary form of instruction in colleges and universities, and even at different school stages. In almost all lessons, the teacher has to present information and ideas. He has to introduce topics, summarize the main points of the learning activity, and stimulate further learning. All these activities require the use of lecture teaching method. According to Brown, the term lecture has been derived from Latin word lectus, which means to read aloud. So lecture consisted of an oral reading of a text followed by commentary. Lecture is a method of teaching by which the instructor gives an oral presentation of facts or principles to the learners, and the class is usually responsible for taking down notes. Usually, it implies little or no class participation by such means as questioning or discussion during the class hour. The four main features of lecture method are intention, transmission, receipt of information, and output. Intention. The lecturer's intention may be considered to provide coverage of a topic, to generate understanding, and to stimulate interest. Consideration of these goals of lecturing, as also the knowledge of the earlier learning of the students, are essential constituents of lecture preparation. Transmission. A lecture sends a message verbally, extra-verbally, and non-verbally to the learners. The verbal messages may consist of definitions, descriptions, examples, explanations, or comments. The extra-verbal component is the lecturer's vocal qualities, hesitations, errors, and use of pauses and silences. The non-verbal component consists of the teacher's gestures, facial expressions, etc. Receipt of information. The information, meaning, and attitudes conveyed by the lecturer may or may not be perceived by the students. Attention fluctuates throughout the lecture. The attention of students can be increased if the lecture includes some short activities for students. Output. Any instructional strategy should lead directly to the objectives and interrelated goals for a course of study. So the student's response or output is very essential in the process of lecturing, and it may occur as immediate reactions, or a lecture may bring subsequent changes in the perception of a student regarding a problem. It may increase his insight and stimulate him to read, think, and discuss ideas. The various types of lecture are formal oral essay, expository lecture, provocative lecture, lecture discussion, lecture recitation, lecture laboratory. Formal oral essay. This model can be considered as a highly polished kind of lecture that presents information primarily to support a conclusion. In this process, the lecturer has reviewed and selected from a large body of knowledge, theories, research, studies, and arguments that support his conclusion. The most formal of such lectures are written and read out to the students. This type of lecture is now rarely used in teaching process. Expository lecture. In this type, the instructor does most of the talking with only a few occasional questions from the students. Provocative lecture. There is more intention of provoking thought in this process. Here, the teacher challenges students' existing knowledge and helps them to form a more complex and integrated perspective. Lecture discussion. In this type, the teacher encourages students to comment or express concern rather than simply raise question. The lecture discussion class begins with the instructor speaking for a few minutes and then stimulating a few minutes of discussion around a key point in his remark. During such discussion, the instructor offers brief clarification or integration between the comments of the students, but it is the students who do most of the talking. Lecture recitation. In this type, the teacher stops to ask specific questions or requests students to read prepared material loudly, but the teacher provides the questions and students share what they know or they have prepared. Lecture laboratory. In this type, students follow short lectures by making their own observations, experiments, or other independent work. This lecture is used in science as well as in studio art and writing classes. The advantages of lecture method are that they can provide a proper perspective of a subject. The teacher may be able to provide a proper perspective or dimension of a subject. Many facts can be presented together and also in an impressive manner. The lecture can stimulate very good interest in the subject. Spoken words have greater appeal than the mute appeal of books. The language can be made suitable for the students. The language of the textbooks may not be comprehensible to the students to a large extent, and in such a case, the simplified way in which the lecturer speaks, the teacher speaks, may help the students to understand the topic in a better way. But along with its advantages, lecture method does have its disadvantages. It is actually a wastage of time to repeat what is there in the books. The teacher may focus more on language and manner rather than the content to make his lecture impressive. If the lecture is delivered very fast, then the students may miss out on important points. What is more important is that in a lecture method, the students become passive recipients of knowledge. As the teacher does most of the talking, the students do not come up with queries or questions and do not clarify their doubts. They become passive and they just do not participate in the classroom teaching and learning process. As a result of being passive recipients of knowledge, sometimes the attention of the students may fluctuate. If the attention fluctuates, the student may not be able to understand the subsequent lecturing or the subsequent explanation. There is no interaction between the teacher and the students. There is a lack of activity and discussion. Which is most important is that the problem-solving aptitude of the students is not explored in the lecture method. No problem is given to the student and the students just are spoon-fed. They receive the knowledge from the teachers and that is what constitutes lecture method. Now lecture method has survived since ages and it has to continue. How can it continue? Lecture method can continue more effectively if there is a blending of lecture and discussion. Students can be involved in the process of teaching and learning in this way. The disadvantages of lecture method can be reduced by keeping in mind that mixed with a bit of discussion, the teacher can express his interpretation, opinion, and also he can elicit from the students what the students think about or feel about a topic or what they have gained through the discussion. There can be some amount of brainstorming also in between the lecture, and the problem solving aptitude of the students can also be explored. The lecturer should see himself as a facilitator of knowledge. He should involve the students in the process of teaching and learning. Only then the lecture method can be successfully and effectively implemented.